not hit the bitches, yeah. Diamonds, they wait, then I'm racist, yeah.
Pull up, I hop and get facelift, yeah.
My niggas, they really take shit, yeah. Everything I do evasive, yeah.
I really came from the basement,
Yeah. Ride my curb out, ain't no payments, yeah. No, I do not need that bitch. She moving too basic. I don't want none of her energy. That girl, she's moving too basic. Acting like she is so into me, but I can tell this girl faking. I'm in the cut like a motherfucking doctor, but no, I do not got no patience. No, I do not got no patience. That because these niggas, they not relate. Never run money, only thing I'm chasing. I just be dodging bullets like the Matrix. Niggas, they throwing shots. Yeah, they missing, they better off throwing rocks. Yeah, I rap, but my niggas, they chose the blocks. Getting millions, I barely could for my knots. Nowadays, knowing I'm not with the waiting. No, I do not hit the bitches, yeah. Diamonds, they wait, then I'm racist, yeah.
pull up, I hop and get facelift, yeah.
My niggas, they really take shit, yeah. Everything I do evasive, yeah.
I really came from the basement,
yeah. Ride my curb out, ain't no payments. Nowadays, knowing I'm not with the waiting. No, I do not hit the bitches, yeah.
Diamonds, they white, then I'm racist.
Pull up, I hop and get facelift, yeah. My niggas, they really take shit, yeah.
Everything I do evasive, yeah.
I really came from the basement, yeah. Ride my curb out, ain't no payments, yeah.
Met her at the club, I had to take her home just so I could see the rest of her. Took a number, but before I text her back, I'll probably send a messenger. Nothing that I do is regular. I got 3 girlfriends cause I'm not a settler. Never worry about a chick cause I just been stacking my chips like a kettler. Gotta be special if she in my car, that only take 1 passenger. Nothing that I do is basic. I bought her a bag, she could've got a Challenger. On my watch is big face, on my bezels got diameter. All this goddamn ice on my neck, I can walk in and change the temperature. I know that she feeling me. Catch her attitude, I never fret, cause catching checks my ability. She tried to Google my net worth just to see I'm a millionaire, literally. The bag I could drop in your head is way too big for you to belittle me. My ops going broke is a joke, are you kidding me?
Knowing I'm not with the waiting, no, I do not hit the bitches, yeah. Diamonds, they wait, then I'm racist, yeah.
Pull up, I hop and get facelift,
yeah. My niggas, they really take shit, yeah. Everything I do evasive, yeah.
I really came from the basement,
yeah. Ride my curb out, ain't no payments. Nowadays, knowing I'm not with the waiting, no, I do not hit the bitches, yeah.
Diamonds, they white, then I'm racist.
Pull up, I hop and get facelift, yeah. My niggas, they really take shit, yeah.
Everything I do evasive,
yeah. I really came from the basement, yeah. Ride my curb out, ain't no payments, yeah.
Looking at me.
Come in the spot and I'm looking so clean. Bombing, that's all on my chain. Getting mad cause I'm getting that cream. Study be made. I'm still getting.
My money tall and it's blue like a smurf. Neck full of water, it dripped on my shirt. Nobody fucking with EXO for sure. Your label's new artist is really a nerd. Suit my bitch up, yeah, I bought her a fur. Shooting shit up, bet I act like you heard. Before I tell I'ma go to jail first. Driving on Zannies, I might hit the curb. Valentino on my shoes and my shirt. She ain't want me back when I wanted her. I'm from the Rex, but the sauce on my turf. Had to think twice when I ordered dessert. Now I order my homies a surf with the turf. Take up for Addy with a half a perk. It's the brown boy that made it happen first. Look at me zooming my Rari skirt.
Are they looking at me?
been so long since you texted me. I finally took a break and now I feel like I'm on ecstasy. You said what my work means to me will one day be the death of me. They tried to kill me once, but darling, you just resurrected me. Teach me, baby. Call my phone and say you need me, baby. I'm so green, you gotta teach me, baby. From Vancouver, you a BC, baby. Pull up Maybach, beep, beep, baby. Dig me up. If I call up your shorty right now, she picking up. You boys got big on my name, that's big enough. We know how you OGs rocking already, my nigga. The jig is up. They say the truth for sex is free. Everybody. Might as go stream while you watching HD. They say that karma could take an eternity. Yours is dropping the same night as me.
Good morning. Good morning.
You gon' get yours while I'm doing me.
Or good day. Chat, we got some volume, man. We got some volume for the Fomc, it looks like here. We got some volume. Look at this, 380 pips within 2 hours. Sheesh. Chat, we might cook for NFP here or Fomc here. Let's just start up this call real quick. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Young? What's up, Kenny? What's up, Anga? What's up, Pencil? What's up, Blitz? Arthur? Yeah, we have. The thing about Fomc streams is that every time we do them, there's always so much new people.
Telling me niggas is real. Pussy, I know when it's real. You only come home to pose and pop off a look, but you forgot how I feel. Shot-town popping a pill, go on a drill, looking for someone to kill. White kids listen to you, cause they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul get fulfilled. Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood. Then you
alright. Okay, we're ready? We're ready? Are we ready? Damn, look at this. Off of 4,003. Yo, that's this entire range got like corrected, huh? So yeah, definitely not priced in though in the morning. You know, that move is like light work. All right. Everything is set. You said 4-hour leg candles. Damn, yeah, it is. All right, chat. I'm gonna analyze and then we're gonna see what we can do. Okay. So, but same thing, same approach for like, just like regular streams or regular our regular stuff. Same approach, same thing we're gonna do. Let me just play the copyright music so I can focus. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Makes sense? So we're gonna analyze. I'm gonna see what's up, see what I can do, and then hop on, or and then come back to the charts and see what we'll wait for. Okay, so let's see. Let's remove everything off my screen. We only like the data has changed, so you know you want to adjust and adapt. Yeah, leg candles there. I wonder if this is. That same daily zone. Okay, anyways, chat. Yeah, so same thing. I think just overall, like, I think the daily zones I'm not gonna go through too much because we've been doing the same daily zones for the last 3 weeks now, but that will be the same. So here, top of the range is gonna be roughly here. this is the range that you're in. Okay, so yeah, 43, 43, 38, 69. We'll leave that there. And then what we are going to do after that is add a zone in between right around here at like, I'll say 42, 13, 42, 16 around here, right? Just to like kind of divide this up a little bit. So you have this range up here. So up here, you get a range, and then down here, you also got a range too, right? So this is obviously a range. This is a range. So within that range, you're within one massive range, right? So that's important. But yeah, I'll leave that there. Something looks a little off. I think this might be a little lower. And this can go around here. All right, so just marking up like levels and ranges right now. Right, so just understand what the playing field is. This is the playing field right now between 42.15 and 38.69. So you know, nothing too crazy. It's obviously a big range, but you know, nothing significant until we actually break out. So hopefully this month, hopefully next month, something FOMC maybe. But yeah, that's kind of where we're in. So understand that. Daily zones is a little gap here that hasn't been filled yet. Not gap, a range that hasn't been filled yet. So before price decides to go into a different direction, before price starts to go into a different type of market cycle, you will likely create ranges first. And to create a range, you have to fill the range, right? If you're just in between these areas, then it's just it could range. Technically, this is a range on its own, right? But I think overall, like this is what I have as my overall range. So you still got some room down here, yes, and you're up here, right? So like in between, but to start like actually ranging between here and here, you gotta tap, right, in order to range. So yeah, one big massive range. So we have that, and then what else is there? So we have that 4 hour time frame at 42.5. That resistance there. Again, the structure from the morning is still the same here in terms of on the 4. You're still kind of creating like lower highs coming down, so that's great. What you want to focus on for the session is more so of this. So you can kind of just get the idea on the higher time frame that you can just drop down now and just focus on this move here. You can see like there's been some nice structure as well. So you can see there was one lower high, right? And this broke the lows by a bit, drove a bit, barely, and now it's creating a lower high. So this could do two things, obviously, right? Down or up. If it goes up, then overall go back to the 4 hour time frame. This alone will be higher time frame structure. You can see on the daily, like looking at this from here and here, anything here could be a higher low, because without breaking these lows officially, this thing might not be ready to go down yet, right? So that's why, like, going back to the 4 real quick, you can see like if you do come up, if you do start to come up and break above, I'll say here, then you are starting to shift into a range from here to 42.15. And if you start shifting to that range, then you start retesting the highs and you start actually coming near that 4 hour structure that we just drew out, right? Those lower highs there. So that's very important. But if you do continue down, then this could be seen as a lower high here. And if this is a lower high here, then as you continue down, amazing, you have continuation of this trend, and then maybe that daily can get filled. So we don't know what's going to happen yet, nor do we need to figure that out. You don't gotta make trading too complicated for yourself. You can just kind of like follow price and hop on the wave, and that's what we're gonna do for FOMC, right? But just understand the levels, understanding where you can go to from these ends. Whether if you continue down, where can you tap? If you continue up, where can you tap, right? So this is still higher time frame stuff that we're looking at. I'm gonna drop down to the 1 hour time from now. Again, 4 and 1 are similar in structure. You have some nice movements down here coming down on price. You have some nice higher lows here. And then you have some nice structure here. So overall, like, there's more detail now, right? It's the same thing as a 4, but there's more details since there's more candles that are being presented, and since there's more details being presented, you can see more information, right? So with this information here, you can see if I were to delete all of this, is this a strong move down? Not really. It's not that strong. Is this a strong move down? This is a little better, but this is kind of weak. It was short-lived, and then the majority of it was range, right? So you can see like it got affected, right? So if I usually was use a term like, if it's not a problem now, it can be a problem later, right? And look at the problem later. The problem later has came. Look at what happened. These moves here on Tuesday And this morning, very slow on the way down this whole morning, even though we got a trade today, I was like, these spreads are kind of ass, right? They're not that great. And look at what happened after you corrected the range, right? So that move coming down isn't that strong or significant. Now, does that mean that this is useless information? No. What does this mean? This just means that you have now volume, because why did you break the lows? Why did you come back into the range? Could it be a fake out? Looking left, it's still bearish. So to say it's a fake out is like, I'll wait for more information, right? But what could it be? And that's the beauty of it, because now that you have volume, you're likely to get that move next. So whether if this from here continues down, whether if this from here continues to break above or continue driving up, right? We'll be able to see. But I will say, if this is a bullish move up, my buy ideas, I'm pretty sure, are still above 4,200. The only way that could change is if you apply more structure, which means that you need to come down first and then start shifting back into the ranges. And then above 4,215, I'm looking for buys. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not bullish. That doesn't mean that I don't think it's going to go up. That just means that I don't have any buy ideas. If anything, I'm going to watch it drive up like 1,500 pips here if it does go up, right? But I do have wick entry sells at 42.15. So if you shoot straight up towards 42.15, that's my wick entry sell area. I'm looking for wick entry sells there to come back down towards like these ends down here at like 41.43 or whatever, right? But until I know what the direction is, because it's too early, even if this thing is bullish, it's way too early to tell. The only way you can tell is if you make a prediction and say, oh yeah, we're at support, this is a strong supply zone, and you're gonna come up. True, could happen, I don't know, right? But I do have ideas up here for buys. I want to see that structure break. The only other way I can get an ideas from here up is maybe if we have more structure, and I'll need to break at least some higher time frame structure. And the next higher time frame structure is gonna be maybe up here at 41.20, 41.18. So if you do make your way up above these areas like this, start pulling back, holding structure, because if it comes up and pulls back, looking at the 4-hour time frame, these are still lower highs being held. That's not being broken, right? This is still overall being held. You draw a trend line here, you might cringe, but you draw a trend line here, this is still being held at the end of the day. So if you get a pullback, what does that mean? It means that it could be a higher low, but what if you get a pullback and then you re-break? Oh shit, high chance on that this could likely be continuation, and that's where you're looking to take, right? But until all of the higher time frame stuff forms, looking at this move on a small time frame like the 5 and the 15, like this is very minuscule. It's not about how many pips you're moving, it's about the structure, right? This is a 500 pip move, but at the end of the day, what significance did it make today on price? Did you notice it? If you zoom out, did you really notice? Nah, like nothing really happened here. Maybe if you were looking for a trade today, if you're constantly hunting on the minute time frame for trades, if you're like tweaking to look for a trade because you need to take a trade today, you look at this range and you're gonna be like, ah, that's some good volume. Otherwise, there's no significant impact on price here. This is nothing, right? This is literally nothing. So what that means is that there's a lot more to come. So if you missed out on these bullish buys up, there's a lot more room to come if you do continue up. There's a lot more ranges. So don't FOMO over something so little like this, because FOMC is right now. In 6 minutes, that's gonna come out. We'll see how numbers come out. I think they're keeping the same rates, 3.75. That I don't know how, if it's gonna come out. Yeah, they're likely gonna keep the same rates. So I don't know if that's gonna be bullish or bearish for gold. We'll find out anyways when news comes out. News is just another trigger for volume, to be honest. So you will see where price is meant to go. Price is already priced in. It's already priced in terms of like it knows where it wants to go, either bullish or bearish. It's gonna go to that destination regardless of what we think, say, feel, whatever it is. So volume just expedites that. When you have volume, it just pushes the move up further. If price is meant to go up, shit, we'll see it go up. If there's no news, it might come up slower. If there is news, you might see one constant spike up, right? So that's the way I view news. So either way, regardless, it's meant to go where it wants to go. You're not in control of like when it's gonna go, how it's gonna go. But what we can do is we can have ideas, right? So again, to continuation up, we need structure. So we know where that's gonna be. We know that's pretty far away. That's at least like minimum 1,000 pips, minimum, before I look for buys. For sells are good. Sells because we've been coming down since February, bro. Like literally, we've been coming down since February, right? So it's just a matter of like what's happening here, like is the question. So if you could continue to make lower highs here, like you are, right? And you start, let's say from here on out, NFP comes out, or an NFP, FOMC comes out, it spikes down, corrects that whole entire move that corrected that entire move from earlier. Let's say it comes out like this, right? It's just structure because we know what the destination is. We know like where we're gonna go next. And we know 38.69 is like a next support, right? We don't know if it's gonna go there or not. We're not trying to figure that out, but we know that if it were to go down, there's levels on the way down that could be impacted, right? So we can probably add another zone right around here as well. I'll probably put it like around like here, just like your support zones area that you can reject that. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at a little bit of struggle there. And then obviously most important, go to the right, you can see there's lots of struggles here. So you know 39.69 is a zone, an area. Maybe you can adjust it a little bit around here. 39.71, that's an area. So if you were to come down today, that's something you could react at, right? So if this ends up being some type of structure, let's say news comes out, flips bearish on price on the 4 hour time from here, comes down, you have a leg candle here. If you do shift down towards a leg candle body, right? When you have a leg candle, open up a new tab real quick. If you have a leg candle, chat, right? If you have a leg candle looking like this, boom, that's your leg candle. You usually fill the wick down, right? But it's not about just seeing a leg candle and being like, oh yeah, let's take sells as a wick fill, because you need the structure to print. So what you want to see is you want to see an opening that opens up, taps the body area like this, right? Rejects, re-breaks the lows, holds, right? So in another form, just structure. In another form, you draw a fib out from here to here. This is probably a 30.2 retracement, right? Open up another tab, close that one. And then if you were to fill this leg candle, this wick fill is how much? This wick fill is like 240 pips, right? So if you do get this structure, where could that be? So I drew at the body on price is probably going to be around here. So if news comes out, pushes down 216 pips, right? Let's say you open up, come down like this. I would want to see a reaction, because this is what you want to see, the rejection, right? If you do get that rejection, okay, cool. It might not come down again. It might just continue going up. Who knows? But let's say it does come back down again, continues to hold that yellow zone, 40.18. As it re-breaks the lows, that's your leg candle fill. And you're looking for this wick fill here for like maybe 130 pips is going to give you. And that's the position that I'm going to look for, right? So that's the leg candle. You could get that. That's not bad. Worst case, we don't get in on this leg candle. Let's say that news comes out in a minute here and it just spikes straight through, clears that entire range. Okay, fine. We'll look for more ranges below here, below like 34,000 towards like 39.71. We can look for a continuation of sells coming down towards here. That's your next target, and that's it. So just continuation of sells, wick entry sells I don't have, just those two options, the leg candle fill, or worst case below 4,000, basically that zone below there. If you were to go down, if you were to go up, the only other thing I can see is maybe wick entry sells, right? But wick entry sells, hold on, this might be a little tough. This might require 41.30. How much is this? Maybe, yeah, 41.30 is not bad. 809 pips. So if you do pop up like 809 pips, I don't see why we can't take the wick entry sells. But that's pretty much it for news, chat. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this up in MT5, and then the rest of the session is pretty set. We just know what to do already, and we're gonna wait for those exact steps to form. If it don't form, then GG's. News came out just then. Let me just finish marking these zones. What was it? 71 zones. And what else we got? Oh wow, 41.30. Hold on. This might be the last. This might be deja vu. 41.30. This might be deja vu, chat. 41.30 is what we got. Remember last FOMC, same thing. We last FOMC, I think it was like 600 pips away, and then it actually popped up 600 pips. So 41.30 is my wick entry sell. It comes straight up there. Again, it was like it's gonna require 800 pips. It was, right? I think you popped up 400 or something. So 18, then 39.71. Wow, it could be a quick trade. Let's see. You want to see one consistent move up though. You don't want to see pullbacks, right? But yeah, news came out. So that was maybe so far like 390. So yeah, we got another like maybe 400 to go. 400 to go. That's the next zone I have. Could it be a little lower? Let's see. Could it be a little lower? I think I could actually. I think it could be off of these zones here. 4113, which is where 4113 around here. So if we get in, chat, we're getting wick entry sells, what our stop's gonna be? Oh, perfect. 4337. So 2200. So 0.05 lap we enter. Chat, we could get a wick entry sell here, 4113, okay? It's a daily leg candle fill at the end of that too. So I'm expecting a reaction here. Again, very key on the way up here. What matters? The zone matters, but the way it comes up matters more. So based on if you get pullbacks up, or you keep adjusting. Like let's say you come up towards like here, these areas, because this could be a reaction zone too around here. You get a pullback, we'll move it up. I'll move it up towards like maybe up here, 4231, back to our original area, right? But right now we could have 4130, because look at how far you came up so far on news. So that's perfect. So again, you don't need to predict where it's gonna go in order to get in. You just have your zone set for where it is gonna go, and then just get ready. All right, chat. Straightforward. This is why I can't drink coffee at like 2 p.m. Four no bottom wick. Yep, could flip. It could still flip. You're only like 1 hour into the candle, so that can flip at any given point. Very good, chat. What's up, Deep Late? That's going live? No problem, bro. Trying to see if we can get some today. We can get some today. 2 trades in the day. Typical FOMC. Let's see, chat. This is rejected already, right? So we can see, like, look in the minute structure. You're starting to like reject a little bit. So it could just correct. It might not even end up tapping 4113. And that's not bad, because you know what that's gonna lead to? This can be liquidity. If you start shifting back into the ranges here, if you start shifting back into the ranges here, what do you think this is gonna be? Lower highs, right? So you start shifting below into this yellow zone, maybe a little lower here. But you can start saying, okay, cool. Well, it looks like you have a leg candle here. You have a leg candle here, and you have a steeper top wick. That's like generational confirmations right there, right? So leg candle plus liquidity. It's just a matter of like small type of structure once you actually do drop into the yellow zone, but you can start hunting for those ideas afterwards too, right? If you want to play it like, well, actually there's no such thing as playing it safe, because you're looking for an idea that's good or not good, right? You don't want to look for bad ideas. But yeah, there could also be leg candle fills too if you don't want to be part of this range. So that leg candle fill is like total of like 260, but either way you're gonna have to let this drop at least like 400 pips. But yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, there's pullbacks here, so chat, I'm gonna delete 13 zones, because this pullback, it was close. It was like maybe 250 pips away. Let's see, next zones 41.49, that's far, right? 41.31, that's not too bad. We'll leave 31. 41.31, we'll leave. Maybe 29 zones like near there though. But yeah, if you can push up another 490 more pips, chat. Cool. And then I think stops are a bit smaller too, right? How much are 2,000 pips? Let's just move it to the highs then, might as well. Then it'll be 20, no, what would this be? Really? 26. We can leave it down here. We'll leave it down here. And then we'll manage it if it breaks about 42.15 or something. That might be too high. Lecandle not accelerate? No, Lecandle is not accelerate, bro. We haven't taken a celery play since like maybe 2023, maybe 24. So, there's probably celeries that we take. It just might not be directly off of a celery, you know? It might not be, you might, like, for instance, like our trade this morning was a breakout sell. There's probably some type of 1 minute celery in there. If you like, if you can taste it. What's up, Vivis? Yep. Sorry, Don. I just realized that 2 years ago you said that you use fixed lot size and you used 30 on main, but you still use the same or you have leveled up. I had to change it to percentage because when we use fixed lot size, it has to be a fixed lot. It has to be a fixed pips, right? So I think back then when we were using 30 lots, for example, I think stops were like maybe 350 pips around there, right? So then, like, obviously now I can't have a 350 pip stop loss. That's like a 1 minute candle, like, because it's not about pips, right? It's about like structure. So the average structure just increased. So then I had to adjust to like percentage risk instead. So it's like percentage risk slash like lot size fix, if that makes sense. So on this account, like we're using a 0.5, like if stops are like over 2,000 pips usually. Anything below, it starts to increase and max is like 0.14, so it goes all the way to 0.14. 0.14 is usually like when it's like 400 pip stop loss, but we're, you know, in these conditions, I don't know when we'll get that much of a stop loss. But obviously, the lower the lot size, the slower, the smaller the percentage gain is as well. But the more pips there are right on the table because of the ranges. Slow FOMC, you think so? I don't think it's bad. I think it's okay. We got a speech still too at 2:30. In 20 minutes we have a speech from Kevin. So Kevin's gonna speak, and then yeah, we'll see what Kevin says. We'll play it. We'll play it in a picture in picture. Picture in picture. Yeah, it's myself. I looked in the mirror and I cut it. Yeah, weekly can flip bullish here. I think you got a leg candle body reaction too right here. Leg candle body reaction. So let's see, can that re-break and fill that wick? If it fills that wick, that's your 41.29 zone. Because once you fill that wick, how much room you got after that? Like this move, right? And that's clean traffic, really. Bada bing, bada boom. Have you got any trades at 31? Trades at 31? We got a couple trades here, chat. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. A couple trades here too that we got today in that same zone. We had a bit of trades here too off of these areas. All sells though. Oh yeah, how did numbers come out? Kept same numbers. 3.75. Same numbers. AD. I just answered it. Maybe like 10 seconds ago. Or a minute ago. This is liquidity. That's it. What's up, Cookie? Cookie Bender. Yeah, no worries. I answered that though. Not bad. Pullback came up pretty quick again, so if you can get another run here. 416. Maybe it could be 17. No, I'll leave it here. Yeah, 28, 29. I'll leave it there. So yeah, a little more weight in chat. I don't know if it's gonna go up. That's why I'm not looking for buys up. I don't have buys until 4,200. So like, even if it does go up, right? Or at least for now, that's actually not bad. 1,300 pips away now. Earlier it was 2,000. Yeah, unless you get structure after, regardless though, at least after 41.28, and then we need structure anyways, right? But as of right now, yeah, 4,200. So that's my next areas I'm looking for buys at. Until then though, I can only watch it drive up and look for wick entry sells. It's good structure though. Where'd your answer? Fuck. Like literally the moment you type that out, maybe like a minute before. I was talking about how the ranges got bigger, and I had to adjust. So I can't use a fixed lot size because stops are much bigger now due to the ranges getting bigger. So I'm using the same stop loss strategy, right? But I can't use that same fix because stops change day in, day out. Bro, are you even trading on the live? We took a trade this morning. ABD, holy shit, that is a long name, bro. I didn't see you trade. Bro, I be taking trades, but you know, it really depends on the markets. The market depends, like it really depends on the markets, bro. Fuck, I do break down everything that I'm looking for and like what I'm waiting for. So yeah, I'm telling you right now, I am waiting for buys. I gotta wait for price to drive up 1,300 more pips, and for me to take sells, it is wick entry sells at 41.30. So those are our next ideas, or the other ideas are below 40.18. So I'm just waiting for either of those to play out, and that's really my job today. I got nothing else on the table as of right now. But this is good volume, no chat. This is like 10 out of 10 Fomc. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Swiping cards and stacking chips. AJ. Yeah, man. I'm waiting. Got my zones ready to go. And just waiting. A lot of it is waiting, chat. This is live trading though. You know, live trading. Just because you live trading stream doesn't mean you have to take a trade every second to entertain the stream. Cause I don't trade to entertain. I trade to like I take, you know, like trades that I'm looking for. I'm not gonna take a trade because just I want a clip or something. So sometimes, you know, trading requires a little bit of patience. You know, you gotta wait a little bit. But yeah, we had one this morning. We have one this morning for the first time since the 16th on stream. So it's just when they come, when they approach, right? But you guys know what I'm looking for, because I tell you guys what I'm looking for in the morning, and then after that it's just waiting. So you'll know like what is he waiting for? Oh, he's waiting for that play. You'll know when I'm gonna enter or like when I'm not, right? But you'll never really see me like, you know, explain something midstream, explain something, and then midstream I'm just like, oh fuck it, let's just enter a trade here. You're not gonna see that. Maybe not anymore, because I know exactly what I'm looking for because I analyzed it. And I know what I'm missing out on. In case you guys say you missed the trade, no, I told you I was gonna miss out on that move. I said I was gonna miss out on it. Can't say that no more. Dun, 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 dun. Do a vlog again? I've been getting footage ever since 2024, so yeah. Don't worry, there'll be a time for me to drop a vlog or something, for sure. For sure, that stuff, never not doing it. But there'll be time. My last vlog was a minute ago though. Death tour. This music, you like it? Remember the days when it was 11 and Don was like, chat, you know what I'm gonna do? I think those are still today, Motosate. I think we still do that now. That was the cue though. You know I love you, bro, and I see your analysis. But you too low, bro. Take the risk, do something. Okay, so you telling me to take the risk, but you're over here waiting for another grown-ass man to tell you, which is another grown-ass man, what to take. If we are grown-ass men, we get to do what grown-ass men do, which is do whatever that grown-ass man wants to do, bruh. You on the stream asking another grown-ass man to take a trade so it could give you an idea to take a trade. Take your damn trade, bruh. Take it and win and do done. But bro, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself, bruh? Do you hear yourself, bruh? Bruh, do you hear yourself? How you gonna ask someone else to take a trade for them? Just take your trade, bruh. Take your trade. Take it and go. Go to the moon. Go to the moon. Cause what if I go and draw down, huh? What if you're waiting for a trade for me and I go and draw down? What happens now? Like, what happens now? You're gonna complain now? Because you waited for someone to make the move for you. Of course you're gonna complain. But if you make your own moves all the time, you're not gonna complain. You're never gonna complain. You take a loss, you're not gonna complain. You're gonna accept the loss and move on. Another person takes a loss for you, you're gonna complain. You're gonna sit there and just fucking. That's just how. That's what happens. Factual. Just join us the analysis. Two ideas. Wick entry sells for 128 if you can get up there, and then continuation down below 40.18. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. So it's just, we're in the middle. We're like between both, like 500 pips up and then 500 pips down. So whenever we decide to break. I was thinking you trade news. No, I'm trading, or like I'm hunting. But before news, I broke down this idea and that idea, right? So until those ideas form, chat, listen, bro, right? Like I break down what I'm gonna look for, and then it's set. It's literally set. It's like, bro, if you fucking plan a trip to go camping, are you gonna bring a basketball? No. If you plan a trip to go camping, you're gonna plan out the things you need to go camping with. You're not gonna bring a fucking basketball to camping. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna bring a basketball. Like, you're not just gonna randomly pull up a basketball. Like, you're gonna bring your fishing rod. You're gonna bring your tent. You're gonna bring your fire starter. You're gonna bring your pots and pans you gotta cook with. You're gonna bring your bear spray. You're not gonna bring a fucking basketball, right? So it's like, you ready to go camping? All of a sudden, you look at you see a basketball. Like, what are you gonna do? Bring it with you now? No, like you plan. You're gonna bring those things that you planned for, right? Yeah. So you're gonna bring the things you need. So the things that I need to see, I'm waiting for. I'm not just gonna randomly be like, oh yeah, Fibonacci retracement right here. Let's take a sell. I don't know much about. I don't have experience with Fibonacci, right? Maybe you want to play basketball with the bear? Shit, bruh. Shit. Maybe. You're different. Maybe. Yes, this is the year, bro. This is the year. I'm amplified to go. Like, bro, we're gonna win the cup this year. This is the year. 2027, Leafs will be Stanley Cup champions. Bro, because this is the year. Shit. Chad C, man, you guys think we can get a trade today? They didn't want to get trades. I saw some people get trades today. I saw a lot of people take buys today. What did you guys end up getting? This is a 500 pip move up or more. How much is this? This is like 413 pips move up. EJ overseas. Why do you have corn in your display picture, bro? Peace out, AD. Good talks, bro. Enjoy the rest of your day. No trades? Me too. I was mid analysis here. Chat, we'll be here until like 3:30, 4. We'll see. There's a speech in 5 minutes here. Where's the link? Let me pull up the video for you guys so we can watch Kevin speak while we hunt for positions. Where is Kevin Wash? Kevin, how did I do this? Hey, is Talib here? I need his help. How do I do the picture-in-picture thing? Oh, I got it. W. 230, guys. Retracement for buyers. True. Oh, let me not put it there. Let me put it somewhere. Where did I put it? Here. I want to block stuff here. No, let's just put it here. Right there is good. 2:30. So yo, chat, in 4 minutes there's a speech. Sometimes like when you don't move, sometimes you don't move on the opening of news, and then you move during the speech. But you know, there's been a move today, so I don't know if you move more. If anything, it could bring in more volume. It could bring in more, but that's just something I've noticed. Like when you don't move for 2 p.m., 2:30 moves. But again, this is a movement. This is a 400 pip move up. So we'll see. What's up, artificial leak? How much is this? 200 pips into the flip. So yeah, that zone down here too, chat, is also valid, right? But you obviously got to make your way down first. So, well, I want to see at least like 300 pip move. If you can start shifting into the ranges, we'll start hunting. We need structure though, so because you know why? If this is the move up, right, like from down here, and you get a pullback here, this could be a higher low to go up, right? So what you want to see is you want to see it actually shift into that range first, and then you want to see it make a higher low, right? And it can still go up, right? But at least if it goes up, you know that if it were to re-break that low, now you have more structure being printed here, these lower highs, and then anywhere in this yellow zone could be ideas, right? So we can end up getting the 4-hour flip for all I know. But yeah, there is a leg candle here, so we are looking for that leg candle fill. All right, so that could be ideas that could start to form. But regardless, we still gotta wait. Still gotta wait 300 pips at least. And yeah, 4-hour flip, no bottom wick, and that's where the daily zone is too, right here. Basically same thing as a daily flip, basically. Daily flips there, and then weekly reflips bearish. But don't get it twisted though, right? You don't want to assume, like, you know, just because we have an idea doesn't mean like you want to take your sells from here down. Like this could still be higher lows to go up, right? This is a retracement that could just continue up. So very cautious. All right, he's about to go live, guys. Jerome, but hit the live button. I mean, Kevin. Good day. Oh, here he is. Let me pause the music. Where is it? Let's see, good day, over, under.
Good day. My second FOMC committee meeting as chairman has come quickly. It's probably too early to call it a streak, but our discussions again were collegial and constructive. I'm truly lucky to work with colleagues so capable and mission focused.
Discord, you guys
and
hear it?
so determined, like I am,
Yeah,
to
right.
sharpen
Should
the
hear it.
performance of the Federal Reserve. Today, as you know, our committee decided to vote by a 9-3 vote to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5% to 3.75%. The committee is continuing its policy of making ample reserves in the banking system. The economy is showing impressive
son.
resilience.
GG's.
Even with recent shocks, the trends are positive and reveal solid growth. Job gains have kept pace with the workforce, and the unemployment rate has changed little. Inflation remains elevated relative to the committee's 2% goal. The committee remains resolute. You've heard this before, but we will deliver price stability.
There's
As
lots
before,
of
the
movement
policy
here.
statement conveys just the facts.
Actually,
It's steering clear of forecasting, a choice we consider especially prudent at these uncertain times. Uncertainty, however, does not mean a lack of clarity. For some households, businesses, and market professionals,
how come you guys said GG's?
5
What
years
does GG
of
mean?
high
My stream
inflation
end or
have
something?
left a mistaken impression that's hard to shake, that the Fed's implicit inflation target was somehow above 2%.
Or what did he say? I
Let me
missed
reiterate. There is no soft inflation target. There is no soft implicit target, not
Holy.
on this committee's watch. There's only a target, and it's 2%. Not one of my FOMC colleagues is under any illusion. We have begun a new chapter, and we understand that the 5+ years of inflation above target cannot be cured in 9 weeks, or by a single month of modest price decreases. This Fed will not waver. Our credibility rests on performing our duties
Lecandle.
and delivering on our responsibilities.
beat me.
Americans are right to expect that because our nation's prosperity depends
Wow,
on it.
this whole thing will get corrected.
To the regulars here in the press room, today's assessment might sound familiar, yet there was nothing inertial about our discussions, our policy, or our strategy. 2 economic developments are worth highlighting. The first is a very notable change since our last meeting 42 days ago. Nominal and real yields are materially higher across the Treasury curve. In fact, some of the increases in market interest rates between FOMC meetings are among the most significant in the last 2 decades, ranking around the top decile or so. But if the committee didn't change its policy rate, what happened? In the intermeeting period, market attention centered on real data and real economic developments. Prices reacted in real time to incoming information, and the reduction in forward guidance may have been a factor. Market participants are learning to play the ball, not the referee, and market prices will continue to respond in the direction and magnitude they see fit.
What did he just say?
This is, in my view, a change for the better, and we're just getting started. After all, the central bank need not always and everywhere be the center of attention. I understand the desire for rolling forecasts and commentary from this committee, but for our part, we need to observe market reaction to developments, direct and unfiltered. I want to stress, of course, that decisions by this committee matter a great deal. And where necessary and appropriate, we will not hesitate to act. A second economic development is one that I noted at the congressional oversight hearings this month, but it's worth repeating. The most striking feature of the economy is the strong growth of business investment. The surge in high-tech CapEx has been remarkable, but that does not necessarily make the Fed's role any easier. In the AI-related category of high-tech equipment and software, the most recent data shows 4-quarter growth rates of nearly 20%. This is helping to sustain the healthy momentum of manufacturing output. More generally, CapEx is preparing the ground for future growth. Nonetheless, the precise timing and magnitude of effects on the supply side remain hard to predict. FOMC meetings produce policy decisions, but just as important is candid discussion of the big things that matter most. That too is a priority in this new chapter at the Fed. In our meeting, vigorous discussion centered on 4 questions, which I will enumerate. First, we talked a lot about the implications of the past 5 years of high inflation on the current policy conjuncture. To echo an old phrase, has the past really passed? Second, my colleagues and I considered the economic shocks of recent years, strained supply chains arising from the pandemic, military conflicts, energy supply disruptions, substantial increases in tariff rates, and yes, the surge in AI-related investment. These differ in their sources.
230.
They also differ in their effects on output and employment.
190 pips since he talked.
Third, we took up the related question of price increases arising from shocks. The business CapEx boom, for example, is driving up prices of memory and logic chips.
I swear
and
he's rapping.
Associated AI infrastructure. Do these changes indicate a broader inflationary dynamic, or do we just focus on them because they are under the bright streetlight? Finally, we discuss monetary policy tools and strategies for achieving stable prices. If, as the Fed has long held, interest rate policy should be its primary monetary policy instrument, how much accommodation are we getting from the balance sheet? In all of this, our work is advancing at the Fed. We're asking the right questions. And in this consequential time, we know how very much depends on getting the right answers. Of course, you've all arrived with questions of your own, so let's turn to them now.
All right, volatility time here. Let's see. Usually when you ask questions like this is when, you know.
Thank you for taking our question,
moving.
Mr. Chairman. You've had a couple months now, or 9 weeks, or whatever number it is, to see the markets behave in the absence of forward guidance. I'm wondering if you could tell me, what message are you getting from the markets as to where policy ought to be right now?
Yeah, so I think officially it's 8 weeks and 4 days, but I'm not counting. The message from markets is the message from markets. What I've really been trying to do, Steve, as I think you appreciate, your colleagues appreciate, is getting an unfiltered message from markets, getting a direct message. Letting buyers and sellers meet at prices for treasuries, for the foreign exchange value of the dollar, and then trying to judge for ourselves, what does that mean about our remit? How are we doing on inflation? How are we doing on employment? We're trying not to interfere with that market signal. That's part of the reason why we've been somewhat spare in our words, why we pulled back from forward guidance. So they're reacting to events, I would say, much more directly over the 42 days since we last met. This is a good thing. As I mentioned in the prepared remarks, we've seen a material tightening, not just in nominal rates, but in real rates too. And we're observing it. We're trying to stay out of that because many of you might be
re-breaking the highs there.
Our reaction function. We're interested in the reaction of financial markets.
I get that, Mr.
15 light candle,
Chairman.
maybe
And,
two.
I guess the follow-up question is, if the markets are talking to you, what do you hear them saying? And if it's real rates are higher, it would suggest that that's
Let me tell
where
you,
the funds
Steve Leisman,
rate ought to go.
it's going up.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
I'm sorry, it's your question. So interpreting markets is an imperfect business. We central bankers like market pros can think these things are overdetermined, but let me offer some speculation. First, as we said in the FOMC statement that you got at 2 o'clock, the economy output is solid. CapEx and productivity are strong. Labor market's solid, steady. The bond market, the treasury market, it seems to be saying that as well. If I were to try to break down, disaggregate the treasury market signals, I wouldn't be able to do it perfectly, But the bond market's saying many of those same things, and that's why we're seeing a tightening both in nominals and in reals. Even while at some level we haven't done much in 42 days, the markets have done quite a bit.
Wait, I want to see the SPX. What's it doing?
Claire Jones, Financial Times. You seem to have got the family fight you were after at this meeting. We saw three dissents.
Gold and SPX.
Could you characterize the arguments that those dissenters put forward, please, and tell us a little bit why you weren't persuaded by them at this stage? Thank you.
So I guess I shouldn't give you their best arguments. I'll give you some others. So you're right. I asked for a good family fight and I got one. That's the purpose. That's the design feature. I come into this meeting, even this press conference, heartened by what I've experienced the last 2 days. Most of our discussion were on the big questions that matter to the conduct of monetary policy. We didn't sort of hide from them. We weren't scared of them. There was a lot more interaction between and among my colleagues. It was a real family fight. My view, which you've long heard, is that's the better way to get policy right. That's our North Star. So there was a lot of agreement that I heard that we have the powers,
can we make our way up here?
Also the authority to deliver stable prices. No walking back from our responsibilities. There was a large majority support for the decision that we made in the room. But I also want to leave you, Claire, with one other impression. There was nothing inertial about that discussion. It was an active, robust discussion about what's in the full range of what we can do and might want to do in the period ahead. You characterized accurately there was a disagreement about a decision today. I would say that doesn't sort of capture the full essence of the discussion. The path to central bank heaven requires delivering on our remit. These days, that means delivering on price stability. I wouldn't measure that path in 42 days or any one particular meeting. And I came out of that meeting even more confident that this is the right team to win the battle against high inflation.
How much do you think not going in July was down to the cool CPI print for June?
So in 2 words, not much. Not much. I'd like to believe that the committee shares my views, which is the historic problem with data dependence is the data and the dependence. We are not relying on any one individual piece of data as cover or as an excuse or as validation. What I care about and what I think the committee cares about is trends on the data. Sure, we got some encouraging inflation data. I think at the meeting 42 days ago, I said something like 63 months of inflation above target. I didn't say 64, though the final calculation might be a close one. So we'll be watching inflation data over the period ahead. But I also don't want you to leave the misimpression that we're sort of breathlessly waiting.
Damn, Grant. It's okay. You bounce back.
I've called for a task force to revisit both the private and public data we use to make our decision making.
I believe
that task force is out doing their work. I'll be checking back in with them the next couple of weeks. But I wouldn't say we overly relied on any one piece of data, including that data, which surprised some a couple of weeks ago.
All right. Can I end the stream, end the thing now?
Hi, Chairman Warsh. Thanks. Neil Irwin with Axios.
One more question.
Questions. So the Fed funds rate is now about 75 basis points below the 2-year yield. It suggests markets think you'll have to tighten eventually, about 100 basis points below most Taylor rule estimates. You're hitting your employment mandate. Inflation stays high. Why should rates not be higher today?
There's a lot in there, Neil. So rates are higher today than they were 42 days ago. Markets have made decisions because we step back in part from trying to influence those. Market judgments have moved up on
close chat. We're 390 pips away, okay?
Across the Treasury curve. That doesn't mean we take them as by dictation, but we're observing them.
There was a pullback here earlier.
So I think it's a mischaracterization to say that markets haven't reacted because we didn't move today.
But if you, since you're re-breaking the highs there, right? If this is clean traffic, the quicker it is, the better it is for us too, because you don't want to see much pullback on the way up as well, right? So if you do shift up to 41.28, that's our wick entry sell area. And we're looking for maybe from there down towards like here. It's like an 80 pip range. We could attempt runners. We could. Depends on how rapid this goes up though.
How it affects the real economy. And these prices that we see in financial markets is one of the many ways in which it affects the real economy.
15 let,
we'll
yeah.
be continuing to watch that market information, see how it responds to incoming events, and that can help inform our decision making when we meet in 7 or 8 weeks.
How would you characterize
Come on, Gold.
in the
Here
family
we go.
fight the last couple of days of you and the
300 more
other 8
pips.
members who wanted to hold? Was that a strong conviction or was that a hair trigger close call on holding versus tightening?
Well, I think the vote was 9-3. The broader discussion to my ear over the course of the last days showed a lot of agreement on the hard questions. The 4 questions I raised at the outset about what's really happening in the economy with the shocks and absent the shocks. What are our tools and our capabilities? What's the effect on prices on output? I heard a lot of commonality on the questions. Were there different leans on the answers? You bet there was. So could people come to different conclusions? Absolutely. But my own judgment is this is a period of watchful thinking, not watchful waiting. And I think the score on that vote was unanimous.
Colby.
Turn me up.
Thank you, Colby Smith with the New York Times. You've mentioned that looking at the Fed's policy tools is one element of a 3-pronged strategy to address the inflation problem. So I'm curious how you view the effectiveness of those tools. If inflation is too high and not coming down, is the best remedy to raise interest rates?
So that was the discussion in the last 2 days. Is that the dominant remedy? If inflation continues to be elevated through the forecast period, interest rates could well be part of that solution. But I wouldn't say it's in isolation. I tried to describe in my remarks today a point that I made to the oversight committees a couple of weeks ago. I think there was a misimpression by some in financial markets, by some households and businesses.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, you guys get the gist of it. Basically, like, it looks like it's still holding bullish here. It's been like maybe 18 minutes since he started speaking. So, yeah, that structure is still being held, right? That structure is still being held, so good. Nice. We had a pullback here. I think, before FOMC, there's a slight pullback. And then if there were to be a fake, I would have done it right here. Ready? News came out, popped up, pullback here. Higher lows. So yeah, this is like looking good in terms of if it starts to shift in biases, right? You are like at this point right now though, so anywhere here you can get a reaction. I'm just hoping it can push through, complete through these areas. If it does, then I'm getting my wick entry sell. But if it just rejects here, that's fine. We're still going to be a little far from the sells though, because sells won't be until like you break back below 40.18 or 40.25, etc., right? So until then, that's far. But you are close. The closest thing we have right now are the wick entry sells. And that's like maybe 280 pips away now at this point. All right, as you continue to push. So let's see. Remember, if we do get the sells chat, 28, our stops, we could use... I'll say up here, yeah. I'll say we could use 43.38. 2100 pips. Let's put this for now too. But yeah, I'll use 43.38, and then management won't be until like you actually start breaking and closing above here and holding structure above there. So that will be the wick entry sell, right? Just because that's when you bump into some type of like resistance here, and I'm expecting price before going up, or if it were to reverse, this could be a lower high area, and if it were to continue up, you're expecting to make higher lows to continue up, right? And structure in general. So that's the idea behind it. So yeah, that's kind of really it. Like again, like nothing crazy that we took away from the news, right? Just use that as volume, and then when it comes to price action, we're waiting for like the same things that we would usually wait for. And yeah, not bad. Pretty good FOMC so far. We're almost there. All right, so don't FOMO. If you can't get any positions, just wait for your stops to form, and it's pretty simple. All right, chat. All right. I don't know if we got. I think we turn it off now, right? You guys still want to hear or no? I think it's pretty set now. Like direction is like, unless he says something crazy, but usually at this point in the convo or in the interview or the questionnaire, he doesn't really go too crazy, or at least Jerome didn't. I don't know about this guy. I'm still sample sizing this dude, but you know, after like the first 3 questions, usually it just settles in kinda. You expect this trend to continue? I don't know, because it can still flip. This could be liquidity, but off of this today, yeah, I think there's more room to go up. It can go all the way up towards 42.15. So yeah, I don't want to see any more pullbacks here. Ideally from here, chat, straight up, no pullbacks. This is fine, but I'm talking like this. Like, you don't want to see anything like that. No, right? Turn it off? Yeah, I'm turning it off. But yeah, chat. Pretty much it. So that's what I'll wait for now. Look, we're close. 280 pips away. And if there is structure, we can keep moving it up. I think our next zones after that will be more so up here at like 41.75. So if there are pullbacks, I will move it. Okay. $250 away. And since it's so volatile, that can be quick. That can be literally a 2-minute candle. Look, these candles right here took like 10 minutes to go up 250, right? So it could be the next 10 minutes. As long as there's no structure here, though, that's it. That's basically the only thing we would really want to see on the way up. And I think once you break past this wick right here, that should be clean traffic, because anything above here afterwards is like all the way up until the top of the range. And then there's no top wick zones here. So that could be the reaction zone. That's what I based it off of. This could be a good trail stop zones right at that wick there, 110. BE zones, if we get in at 41.28, would be, I'm pretty sure there's decent runners here, maybe down here. 46 pips, maybe sooner. That can be a trail stops probably. So if we get in, this would be 38 pips, BEs, and then trail stops would be 50, and then next zones 114. And then, yeah, runner targets, we could try to attempt TP wise. We can do, what could we do here? We could do, hold on. What is my TP? I don't know. I just have trust stops. $41.10. Yeah, it's like 200 pips. 41.10, I'll say. Basically where you just tapped into. Around here could be TP. If we get 28, so like 180 pips. It's runners, but in terms of the overall movement, it's a very small move down, right? If we get the reaction. I think aggressive runners could be maybe here. But either way, if you want runners or not, it's all up to you, chat. The only thing that you gotta focus on maybe is just having like trail stops and BE zones. That's it. Have those zones preset right now, because once you get into the trade and you see profits or a drawdown, you don't want to freak out and make a decision at that point. Why didn't you take buys? Because I said I was gonna miss out on this move up. When it was down here in the opening, I said I needed this move to push up 780 pips, 800 pips in order for me to get a move for wick entry sells. I don't have buys until 4,200. I'm looking for buys above there, so I gotta wait for price to drive up another 1,000 pips, which is not too bad. I was at 2,000 earlier today. So yeah, I don't got buy ideas. I just don't. I do not have buy ideas until that structure breaks, which is 4,200. Doesn't mean it can't go up though. Doesn't mean you can't take buy ideas, right? I just don't have, I didn't have anything. I've said for the last 3 weeks, my buy ideas are 4,200. And that hasn't changed. That will change if we get more structure here for sure, but not until I'll say 75, I'm assuming. Any given point, this can still be like lower high zones. You have a Telegram? No, I don't have a Telegram. No Telegram. W. Dubs, boo. Dubs you. Dubs you. So slight pullback here, chat, but there's still barely anything really. Is this a weekly leg candle? Yeah, right? Weekly leg candle maybe. I doubt it though. We got how many days left? 2 days left after today? To the Discord. It's still up there. Oh, the old one? The old one we closed. We made a new one. We closed the old one. Or not closed it. We just it's just for Divas 01. Dun, 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 dun. I need another playlist there. Chad C, get ready, man. Remember, stops at 2200 pips if you enter, so our lots are going to be 0.05 lot. Very key though how it comes up from here, right? Pay close attention because I have a 28 love zone, but that doesn't mean that's where exactly it's going to reject off of. It could reject off of like 16 instead, and that's fine. We just won't get a move, right? Or it could reject off of here. Like it doesn't need to reject off of 28. If it does reject off of before 28, that's more important than coming up towards 28 because that's going to be now like structure. What's your TP? I'm not in the trade yet, so I don't know. I'm assuming 10 though, 41.10 if we get in at 28. No trades yet. Still waiting there. Yeah, but 28, if you got 28 entry, it's gonna be like 160 pips. This next support down here. And then we'll have a bunch of BE zones and trail stop zones on the way down. Get ready, chat. Can it glitch? Could be a glitch. Could start glitching up. Did we get a wick entry seller before? I think so. We got one here before. Another one here too. True. True, 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 true. And then again, if there is structure going up, chat, then we're gonna move it. We're gonna keep moving it. What time is it? 3? We have in there like 4 or 5 minutes or so. It's either that or let's say it rejects from here. If it just rejects from here and comes down below here, we'll just call it a day 2. Because then, like, I mean, there's still a possibility that you can come all the way down below into 40, 11, 40, 20 zones. It just depends on how quick. Because that's still, if it comes down, like that, our next idea are either wick entry sells, which is up here, or sells down here. We have nothing like in between. There's nothing that I'm looking for here. So if it just starts to shift back down like this, it's like, I don't know how long that's going to take to kind of make its way down, right? And that might be a session then if that's the case. So no pressure, gold, but we're only close to one idea. Yeah, wick entry sell, that's what that means. I'm looking for a sell at 41.28 if it comes straight up there. That's what that means.
It means by the full range of alternatives we had in place.
So some of your peers have continued to
the Discord? Here we go. Here you go, sir. Can it be? Can you 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 be? Free. Can you beat? Can you beat? Can you beat? Swing time? What you looking for? Swing by? Yo, you might get a runner here, bro. Trail stops hit the. Oh, okay. I see. W. That candle here is getting filled, right, chat, on a daily? So once you break that 16 zone, that's the daily leg candle fill. This one right here. This bearish one, that's a leg candle, right? That's getting filled right now on the way up on a daily. Get ready, chat. We're in that territory. About 140 pips away. Can you believe that? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? Chat, look at this. 140 pips away. We're at today, I came on stream and I was like, we gotta wait for price to go up 700 pips. Price has now gone up 700 pips, so it's time. Okay, 16 got tapped. 16 is also a zone 2. It could be a reaction. Hopefully not though. You want to re-break that high, right? That daily wick fill is 28. Can you believe that? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? One hour flip too. That's the first 2 minutes of the candle. So let's see, there's a pullback here. Nothing too crazy yet. Can we still get a 28 though? Or do we gotta move it up by a bit? Something tells me I might gotta move it up a bit. Let's see. Let's flip this chart. $37. True. We can use a 37. 37,518. What was that zone? 41.77. 37. I'll move it up towards 37, chat. And then after that becomes like, no, yeah, 2 and 5, same zones we have. Yeah, 37. So let's see. I'll move it up 70 pips. Just because you're pulling back here, right, off of 16. So you want to adjust that. So let's remove the B zones as well and the trail stop zones. Because that's going to be different, obviously, by the time you come up there. So let's go up towards 30, 36, around here. Well, that candle almost got, basically got filled, yeah, for the most part. Right? It broke the highs too. Yeah, it broke the highs too. So these are my next zones here. Let's see. Let's see how far this pullback is. Chat, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. I go live Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. East. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button and sub to the channel because you get to trade. You basically get to trade with me every day, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. East. Have me in the background. Have me in the background. So yeah, we'll be live tomorrow morning if we don't get anything today. And then regarding trades, you know, we get like an average of 3 trades a week on the stream. So it just depends on how the markets are for NY session each day when we show up. But chat, Asian might be good today. Asian might be pretty good today. Later in Diva Zone if we trade Asian or if there's volume. Because usually FOMC Asian sessions are the best. They always move. That's when it kind of, you know, continues in trend or prints that next upcoming move. Just pass your flex account. Let's go, man. Tell us something in charts. What's next, dude? Hey, man. Let me tell you something. You don't need to predict what's next to be a profitable trader in trading. You don't need to guess what's next. You don't need to do that. I don't know what's next. I only said today that I need price to drive up 800 pips. So I need price to drive up to this level in order for me to get a position. I don't know if it's gonna go to that level or not. Right? Just because it came up here doesn't mean my prediction. Like, that wasn't my prediction that I was gonna go up. I just let price be price. Going up or going down, but I know what ranges I'm gonna avoid. That's what I do know. Because that's what I could control on my side, right? But direction wise, like, you don't need to guess where price is gonna go. You just need to look at price, see where it's going to, like till, and then obviously you want confluences to get to those areas, right? But like for me, for instance, right, I don't have buys until 42.15. So all of this here is like non-tradable for me on the way up, at least. I can take wick entry sells down because I'm expecting price to create some structure before going up further, right? That's the idea behind my wick entries. But in terms of like what's gonna happen next, I don't try to predict that or guess that, because sometimes you don't have enough information. Like for me, the only way I can get like buys going up here, and the only way I could have been part of this range today was if price were to come down first. Like if price were to come down to that 38.70 zones, let's say, and then make its way up, then this range here would have been valid, because then I would see this move as liquidity, and then this is the fake out back into the range, right? But due to it only rejecting here, I'm afraid that this could still be anywhere, any given point. If you're still holding these highs here, this can still be a lower high, because overall you're still bearish. You're bullish today, you're bullish on the daily, etc., on the weekly, but in terms of like zooming out, right? If you zoom out on the weekly and such, there's like no significant impact on price. Like you're just kind of in a range here, and you're still coming down bearish, right? So any given point, any of these pushes up could be lower highs. But again, you don't need to guess that, right? You can just kind of wait for price to break above or break into those zones. Like even the wick entry sell, right? We're not looking to take a wick entry sell so that we can take it down towards here. Like now we're looking for maybe just a move from here to here, right? Just like this range right here. Am I gonna be live for Asian? Asian, no. I'll be in Divas 01. If I see anything, I'll call it in the channel, but I don't go live for Asian, only New York. Chat, this is rejected, man. This is looking low. Looking a little difficult. We still have that idea, but damn, that's creating some structure now. A little bit of structure. I used to trade Asian. I don't know. It's too much, or like too many. I don't know. It's too many hours. I don't know. I'll trade it, but even when I'm trading Asian, chat, like I'm in and out, you know. Like if there's volume, I'll have an alert, or like I'll be more focused if it's in a certain area, or if there's like a particular move I'm looking for. And usually though, chat, if you guys are paying attention for the NY stream, the ideas that come in Asian, you usually see if you pay attention to the NY session streams. Like the ideas, if I have an idea and it happens during Asian or London, right? You can just apply it and take it. But yeah, Asian, London I can't do for sure. Shit, I used to trade all 3 sessions. I think there's less streamers for Asian though, right? Chat, what has more streamers, Asian or London? think Asian, right? London is all the UK. All the UK people are streaming in London. London takeover. Discord? Here we go. Here we go, Mr. Bing Bong himself. What you said? Let's see, chat. We got 20 minutes here, okay? Till 3:30. It's looking a little dry, but who knows? Maybe it'll pick up. It's looking like, let's see. I'll give it 20 more minutes, 19 more minutes, and then we'll see.
Or your, I guess, faith in markets' ability to sort of make a judgment, and then you take signal from that judgment. Is that, how does that affect you when you come up on the September meeting and markets are seeing a near 100% chance of a rate hike as they see now? How does that feed into your decision making?
So we're not going to be constrained by market prices. We're not.
Still talking. Still yapping. Raul, what's up, bro? No beer today? You don't listen to FOMC? We do. We did for like maybe 10 earlier, but not after like the first couple questions. I usually close it. Listening or not listening to him won't give me a position, right? Or at least I don't use it for, like, it doesn't give me like any ideas. What's tomorrow, chat? Tomorrow is Thursday. You have interest rates for the pound, and then you got advanced GDP, core PCE price index, advanced GDP, unemployment claims, personal income, personal spending, natural gas storages, and that is about it. ISM, manufacturing, PMI on Monday. Next week is NFP, right? Yep. Damn. Once again, though, for the third month in a row, or no, not even, since March, chat, ranging the first 2.5 weeks of the month. Last week, moves. Same thing happened last month in June. Same thing happened in May. Same thing happened in April. I think March was a little different, but this constant cycle of like range for the first half and the second half, not even the last 2 weeks, last like, a couple of days, last 8 days of the month, that's when you pick up. So same thing has happened, you picked up last Thursday. Last Thursday was what day? Last Wednesday, like the last 7 days of the month, basically. That's just what gold's been doing. That's fine though. If you survive the last couple months here in this range, bro, when things start moving, you're gonna be eating. But if you blew your account in the process of waiting for these opportunities, you won't have an account for when things do get volatile, for when you can actually read price better, and then you'll be sitting there frustrated because it's like, damn, I see the conditions better now. I see trading, I see these moves better. But instead, if you weren't patient enough, you won't have an account for that. But because you notice how sometimes like you're like just like or at least for me, when you don't have an account and you're sitting there and you're like, damn, this move looks so obvious right now, but I can't trade it. Like, it's because like you're not pressuring yourself to trade. You're not like trying to take a trade because you're trying to flip your account or trying to get to whatever balance. Like, you're just trading. You're not looking at your account. You're not looking at where your account is at, where it needs to go till. There's no pressure on if you need to take a trade or not. You look at the charts with no account, and you see everything much more free. And that's how trading should be, right? Act like you're not actually trading. Like sit there and analyze and wait for your setups. But when you're always constantly on edge looking for a trade, and obviously, you know, there's more pressure, and then you're gonna start taking trades that are not in your playbook. Speaking about playbook, chat, I need shout out the playbook chat. My playbook, 80onnyse.com, free right here. This is what I do every day. Basically, this is a chart that I follow to get my trades ideas, to get my biases and all of that. But that is right here. Playbook V1 dropped like 4 years ago, 2021, I think, 5 years ago. And then V2 dropped last November. So that's been out for almost a year now. And this is what I do. This is all we wait for. 1 trade a day? No, more like an average of 3 trades a week. It's not every day we get a trade. I try. Like, we're definitely there hunting every day, but it doesn't always happen every day. Like this Fomc stream, for instance, right? Like we had ideas today, but it didn't get there. We were like maybe how far away? Like 2 inches away. You know? So sometimes that's how it be. But what could you do? You just come back tomorrow and wait for the same setups. No pressure, right? No pressure. You can just buy another account to what? Follow the same market, to follow the same cycle? You're gonna buy another account to follow the same bad habits? What's the point? Just trade with what you have. Like even if like you lost like 25% of that funded account or whatever, you still got the rest of the account. You don't gotta go full on tilt and just blow up the whole shit and then buy another one. Fuck it, I'm gonna buy another one anyways. What's the point? Like just save it now. Like do what you could do to the best of your ability now. Not like I'm gonna wait to see if I can crawl out of this hole before I start trying and start being more disciplined. Like, nah, you can be disciplined as we speak. The moment you take a loss, that's when your discipline starts. The moment you take a loss, bro, you're there, take an action right away. It's whether you go in to another trade or you wait for your same setups to form, right? If you wait for your same setups to form, amazing. You're disciplined. If you get into another trade just to kind of revenge that last one back, it's gonna be the same cycle for years and years and years and years and years, and that shit never ends. It's just bad habits. They add up. It's hard to get rid of bad habits, is what I'm trying to say. Is such thing as being too cautious when trading? Like I got 2 trades. Nah, as long as like you have a playbook and you're taking every single trade you see when that playbook is playing out. There's no such thing as being too cautious. The only way you can be cautious is if you see a setup and you're like, I don't know if I should take this. It's like when you're not like indirect with yourself and what you're looking for. It's like you're more of like, let's see, there could be trades here. Like no, like you have to know what you're looking for in your playbook. The only way is if you actually develop a playbook, right? I don't know what your playbook is, but let's say you're looking for breakouts, right? You're looking for a breakout above a certain range. You wait during that session for that range to break out. You got the breakout, and all of a sudden now you're like, damn, I don't know if I should take this anymore. That's hesitation, and that's gonna kill you more than the actual trading itself. So like that's gonna kill you much more than trading it and taking a loss itself on that breakout. That's like you being hesitant, right? But if you plan for a setup and it happens, you're gonna take it every time. Who gives a damn about $100? Don't start trading if you ain't ready to lose big. Yeah, but the cycle continues. That's whatever you do. If you can't trade $100, you can't trade 100 mil. Simple as that. Whatever you do at 100 mil, you want to do at the $100 point. Same habits, same skill set, because nothing changes after. A lot of times, this is what traders do. 1K account, they flip it to like, they try to flip it to 10K or 20K. Some like number that they magically have that just seems like it's like, it satisfies them, right? They try to flip it. And it happens. They do flip it. A lot of times, I'm sure everyone here has had a flip story of like flipping 1K, 30K, or like 1K to 20K, and then just blows within like 2 days. It's the same cycle though. Like at what point is that shift gonna come in, and you're gonna be like, what's the point of like flipping an account when I can't even hold the account? Because if you end up losing it, what was the point of flipping it in the first place? You didn't build any type of skill set doing it. You just gambled because you want to get to X amount of dollars. And if you get to that X amount of dollars, right, you're gonna start saying, okay, now it's time for me to lock it in. But how are you gonna lock it in when you haven't developed any of those good habits on the way there? Your whole process was like, I need to flip it. You flipped it, great. But then what happens now? How can that account sustain itself and build from there on out? Because all of a sudden you have an attachment to that dollar amount now. 1K account, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck around, right? Fuck around, find out. You get to 20K, now it's like, damn, I got 20K to lose now. This is when the bad habits start coming up because you haven't developed anything great. But if you from 1K gradually, consistency, every day did the same thing. Show up, mark up, rinse and repeat. Show up, mark up, rinse and repeat. Slowly, each step of the way, you build each step there. There's no different from when you hit 20K. You're gonna do the same thing at 20K, the same thing you're gonna do at 100K, the same thing you're gonna do at 200K, 100 mil, whatever it is. It's the same process. Nothing changes because training is not about the money. Training is about actually looking through all of like your balance and everything and look at the charts like for what it is. Because if you can read the chart, you're not gonna read the charts different at 100K, or you're gonna read the chart the same way. If you have a 1K account, you're gonna look at the chart and be like bullish or bearish the same way you'll be at 100 mil. It's like, it's still gonna be bullish or bearish for you. It's not gonna change. The only thing that did change was your balance, right? But if you built that from the jump, bro, you're saving so much time. If someone told me that on my first year of trading, amazing. But bro, like, that's why I think in percentages now, because it's like literally whatever you do, man, this saves you so much time. When you start, the earlier you start thinking it into that term, the better off you'll be, the better off you'll be. Or, again, you could just continue that cycle. But it's not the balance. It's just like, whatever you do now, you can repeat later, if that's how you think. But I don't know, it's just a chase. A lot of times it's just a chase. Or some people don't even want to trade full time like that. Some people just want to flip an account one time and call it a day. And big ups to you if you can actually quit after flipping an account, because that is going to get addicting. It's a dopamine rush. It's the same thing as gambling. You get addicted to it and it's so hard to quit. It's like, damn, that dopamine rush of making like 50% in a day versus making like slowly 0.5%. It's like, it's a huge difference, right? So you're going to chase that dopamine rush. It's not about the trading anymore at that point. You're just chasing an idea. And again, money, you can always make money in different forms and just place into trading. It doesn't have to be through trading. You don't have to flip in order to make money in trading to trade the proper way. You can just side hobbies, side hustles, work a job, put it in your account, and then slowly build, slowly grow. But it doesn't have to, everything doesn't have to be made through trading, chat. There's like so many ways. You can fucking like, what do you call it? Cloud your way up. Why don't you increase account to 10K? This is just the account that I'm showing. You gotta understand, like, this is the account that I'm showing. So I'm building this account live on stream, like from 1K to whatever, just trading it as I would usually trade it. But this is the account that I'm showing. But I started with 1K on this account. No trader gets in and just wins off studying. No one controls the market. I've never, bro, chat, did y'all hear those words come out of my mouth, bro? Did you guys hear those words come out of my mouth? Did I say I win all the time? Did I say I never lose? Did I say that I am not a retail trader? Did I say that I'm institutional? Did I say any of those words, bro? No, you making shit up, bro. I didn't even say any of that. All I said today was that whatever you do now at $1,000, if you continue to build those good habits, you will do when you get to a bigger balance. It had nothing to do with balance or when, bro. Man. I didn't even bring up my balance, win streak, none. I can care less about my win streak. Win streaks don't matter. I'll tell you right now, win streaks do not matter. You don't want to chase win streaks. You don't want to chase highs off of like going on a winning streak, because then you'll chase the same thing on a losing streak. You're gonna chase the same losses. You want to be neutral. You're a retail. I'm a retail trader. You want to stay neutral. You gotta be leveled out. You can't be higher. You can't be highs and lows. Right? You get a dopamine rush off of trading. How you gonna feel when you take a loss? It's the same emotions that apply. It's gonna be the same emotions. Like today, no one knew gold would do this. Hey, 870 boss. What did I say today? Today I said I'm gonna wait for price to drive up 800 pips. And I said earlier, I did not know it was gonna drop 800 pips, but I did know that if it does drop to this level, I'm looking for a trade setup. And that's why today we got no trades, because it didn't tap that level. But I never said I know where price is going. Man, people ask me in chat all the time, Don, where do you think it's going? I go, I don't know. I'm not here to make that prediction. I can't make that prediction. Because you don't need to make that prediction to trade. You don't need to know where price is gonna go. No, I did not close the trade. We're not in. We're waiting still, but it's looking like GG's here, guys. Because our next ideas are if you were to come back below 40.11, or our next idea is if you are to come up towards 41.52 probably in those zones now. But again, like you're in the middle, so this is like maybe like 700 pips down or 600 pips down, or 700 pips up or 600 pips down. We're just in the middle. And we came really close earlier. I think earlier the closest we came to was like 120 pips away. But worst case, we got a trade today, chat. Worst case, we got a morning trade. So it's better than, better than nothing. And we'll be out tomorrow. But 2 more minutes. We'll see. It's looking like GG's. Unless this move gets corrected, that's the only way I can possibly see us getting ideas. But even if so, you still got to wait for that structure down here to form. And that might take a minute. How come you said margin called you today? Damn. That was 2 people in my chat today got margin called. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll be here. We'll be here live. 8 a.m. East. Tomorrow might be good. The day after FOMC is usually not bad, chat. So maybe, yeah, tomorrow could be good. What's up, Jordy? Oh man. You have a leg candle here too in the 15. It's not too bad. It's not bad at all. Give you advice on what? Margin called? Honestly, I would just say show up tomorrow. I don't know why did margin call? What'd you do? Like over leverage? I mean, you know the answer. If you margin call is not a good thing, it's probably because you over leverage or something, right? So it's probably not. It's nothing wrong with trading. I'll promise you that. It's nothing wrong with trading. It's probably just the fact that you're over leveraging it, because you can take a loss and lose like a percentage of your account. That's fine. It's normal to take losses. But if you're like taking a loss because you're over leveraging, that has nothing to do with trading. That has to do with your risk management, right? That has more so to do with the fact that you're over leveraging. And why you're over leveraging, like what are you chasing, right? So it's nothing to do with trading. A lot of times, chat, trading is like 1% trading, man. 99% is your psychology, right? So you know the answer. You know the answer. You know the answer. So like what I would say is like just keep taking the same trades. Nothing wrong with trading. You can take a loss, it's fine. Impulsive trades, that might just be not planning too, right? You might not be planning for your trades. Like you might not be, maybe if you don't have a playbook, develop one. Try to develop one, like start journaling. This is my journal. Like once you start journaling, you keep track of like each trade, right? And then this helps you, like this guides you. That's how I got to a point of a playbook, because these are the stats that I used to get to this playbook, right? But you can't get to a playbook if you don't like collect stats. So name your plays, like name them whatever. It doesn't matter the name, you know, call it like 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever you want, and then keep track of each one. And you can probably use Claude to do this too. Like you don't need to do it on a spreadsheet if you don't know how. And then yeah, just take notes on each trade. Like take note of like what that trade idea is. Take a picture, take a screenshot. When I first made the first playbook, the trades were basically all like this. Like these are the pictures. I can't open them, but there was playbook V1 and there was like, you know, I drew out each play and we kept taking those same plays over and over. And just, you can't just build stats. That's about it. All right, chat. I think that might be it, man. I think it might be it, guys. Asian might not be bad. I think it might be pretty good. New York tomorrow, I think will be pretty good too. Like today was a good day overall in terms of the markets. Like this thing brought out lots of volume. There's a nice push up. So now it's just a matter of like, you're still in the range, don't get me wrong, right? But at least it's breaking a little bit of structure, like it broke this high. So, I mean, with more information that prints tonight and overnight, I'm sure tomorrow could be pretty good too for New York. So yeah, I'll see you guys there, chat. Yeah, overseas, I did, and I just told you how I got by it, by making a playbook. But you gotta start. If you don't start a playbook, you're never gonna get a playbook, right? You gotta start journaling your trades out. I've been journaling since like 2022. So every trade I take has been docked for the most part. But yeah, chat. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody. No trades for FOMC, but it's okay. We had a trade this morning. All right. So 0.34% day today. 8 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys then. Oh, wait, hold on. What is this? Hold on. Spreads are pretty tight. Hold on. 500 more pips, though. That's far. We're still 500 pips away. Like, for instance, right now overseas, you know, I can easily FOMO here. I can be like, oh, wow, because this is like, when candles look like this is like the easiest way to FOMO. Easiest way to impulse, like just take a position, right? Because you want a quick move, and this looks like a quick move. But like, at the end of the day, my plan is what? To look for sells below 40.23. So regardless, I gotta wait for this to drive down 500 pips. You know what I mean? So it's easy to FOMO. Like anyone can FOMO. Anyone can FOMO, but anyone can also be disciplined. But you gotta just plan, like sort out and plan for yourself to be disciplined, right? Just plan your ideas ahead of time. That's it, chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a good one, chat. Love you guys. Peace out. Peace, peace.
SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before.
Yo, Asian, I'll see you guys there.
Peace. Love it when you pressing that behind on me, holding everybody, cause they won't find it on me. Who said I can't dance with a 9 on 9 on 9 on 9 on 9 on me? Giddy up, G, how you rolling out, girl? Feel it in your system, coding cow, girl. Who am I? Who am I? You know it's Mr. Big Time Eating, Mr. Not Sleeping, he's late night creeping. Both ears, right wrist, all that's freezing. You know I'm a dog, I'm a hard pass demon. Said she wanna ride, I'm like, hey, okay. Shawty wanna ride at the Four Seasons. Shawty wanna ride at the Four Seasons. Shawty wanna ride at the Four Seasons. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soap. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coat. Jet is so big, feel like a boat, stay afloat. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soap. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before.